As a mother of two small boys, I think we may have to find a securer way of helping our children.
Have you ever wondered what truly goes on behind the grand doors of the British royal family, beyond the sweeping balconies and perfectly staged public appearances? Today, we're delving into an astonishing discovery that has set the world abuzz, a lost letter written by the late Princess Diana to Princess Anne. Hidden for nearly 3 decades, this revelation casts a new light on the tumultuous inner workings of the royals, Diana's personal struggles, and the complicated relationship she shared with her sister-in-law. Whether you're a dedicated fan of Diana or simply curious about regal intrigue, stay tuned. This recently unearthed letter just might change everything you thought you knew about the people's beloved princess. The story of Lady Diana Spencer's transformation into Princess Diana is legendary, yet it remains deeply captivating. Born into British nobility on July 1, 1961, Diana spent much of her childhood close to the royal family on the Sandringham estate. Though not noted for academic excellence, she was known for her warmth, a nurturing spirit, and talents in music, dance, and sports. In 1981, when Prince Charles proposed, Diana's life pivoted into a high-profile realm she could scarcely have imagined. Their fairy tale wedding at St. Paul's Cathedral on July 29th of that year captivated millions worldwide. Almost overnight, Diana became the Princess of Wales, stepping onto a global stage that would greet her with both massive public adoration and an unrelenting media gaze. Initially, the marriage appeared to fit the fairy tale script. Diana's compassionate nature and genuine empathy quickly won over the public. She was nicknamed the People's Princess, a moniker that would endure. However, tensions arose behind the palace walls. Charles, a more reserved figure, found himself overshadowed by Diana's effortless charm and rapport with the public. Over time, these differences intensified the cracks in their relationship. Reality soon intruded upon the fairy tale facade. Charles's long-standing closeness with Camilla Parker Bowles, now Queen Camilla, cast a dark shadow over his marriage to Diana. Meanwhile, Diana struggled to reconcile her public role with her private unhappiness. She battled bulimia and depression, feeling confined by strict protocols and isolated in a life that appeared so glamorous from the outside. As media scrutiny ballooned, tensions became painfully visible. By 1992, Prime Minister John Major formally announced the couple's separation. In a 1995 interview with BBC's Panorama, Diana voiced what the public had only speculated. There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded, a reference to Charles's ongoing liaison with Camilla. This candid revelation proved a turning point. A year later, Queen Elizabeth II encouraged both Diana and Charles to divorce. Finalized in 1996, the divorce changed Diana's status in multiple ways. She lost the title of Her Royal Highness and had to curtsy to former in-laws. But she kept her residence at Kensington Palace, along with her beloved title, Princess of Wales. Freed from some royal restrictions, Diana dedicated herself to her own charitable pursuits, most notably anti-landmine campaigns and advocacy related to HIV/AIDS. Yet she forfeited official protections and financial backing that came with her role as Charles's wife. Despite the emotional turmoil, she maintained a powerful bond with the public. On August 31, 1997, the world awoke to the heartbreaking news that Diana had died in a car crash in Paris. Her companion, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henri Paul, were also killed. The public, already mesmerized by Diana's life, was plunged into collective grief. Mourners filled London's streets, leaving a sea of flowers and messages outside Kensington Palace in an unprecedented show of sorrow. Investigations concluded that Paul, intoxicated by alcohol and prescription drugs, lost control of the vehicle while speeding to evade paparazzi. Though a British inquest ruled it an unlawful killing, attributed to his gross negligence and the pursuing photographers, conspiracy theories flourished. Many questioned if Diana's prominence and her acrimonious split from Charles might have provoked foul play. Allegations circulated that shadowy forces within the British establishment conspired to prevent Diana from marrying again or tarnishing the monarchy further. Still, no credible evidence materialized to confirm such claims. Despite the official findings, Diana's death remains a focal point of global fascination. Her iconic status, the shocking nature of the accident, and lingering distrust of the royal family created fertile ground for ongoing speculation. What sets Diana apart from many royals is the personal documentation she left behind, diaries, letters, and even recordings that revealed her innermost thoughts. Rather than lock away her struggles, she recorded them, offering posterity a vivid glimpse of life behind palace doors. Diana's diaries laid bare her anguish over Charles's enduring bond with Camilla, her feelings of loneliness, and her battles with bulimia. She recounted confronting Camilla at a party, a moment she described as terrifying yet necessary. Outside observers saw a princess radiating grace, but Diana's writings showed a human being in turmoil, fighting for emotional survival. Some of these insights found their way into Andrew Morton's groundbreaking biography, Diana, her true story in her own words. Diana also made secret recordings discussing everything from her despair to her belief that Charles might not be suited for kingship. Then came the most chilling revelation, a note to her former butler, Paul Burrell, alleging fears that someone was planning an orchestrated car accident to remove her from the picture. Though never substantiated, the note spurred endless debate about just how far powers within the establishment, or even within the royal sphere, might go to protect their own. To understand the impact of this newly surfaced letter, we must examine Princess Anne. Born on August 15, 1950 to Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Anne stands out for her no-nonsense style, dedication to duty, and preference for a private life. Among the royals, Anne is reputed to be guarded and blunt, earning both respect and occasional friction within the family. She has consistently been one of the hardest-working royals, supporting numerous charities and engagements. Yet the public's fascination often drifted elsewhere, to Diana, Sarah, Fergie Ferguson, or others more accessible to the media. This did not endear Diana or Fergie to Anne, who was rumored to find their press-friendly approaches frivolous. Tensions reportedly rose between Anne and Diana, with anecdotes ranging from chilly receptions to outright dismissals. One infamous scenario played out when Diana excluded Anne from being godmother to Prince Harry. In turn, Anne missed Harry's christening, citing other commitments. Rumors of rivalry ignited. Yet, after Diana's death, it was reportedly Anne who provided comfort to Prince Harry at Balmoral, revealing a more compassionate side behind her stern public facade. Renovations at a lesser-known palace room recently led to a discovery that shocked insiders: a letter from Diana to Anne, believed to date from before Diana's fatal car accident in 1997. Though not all details have been disclosed, insiders claim it contains Diana's reflections on her failing marriage to Charles, her dismay over his bond with Camilla, and her reservations about his readiness to be king. Why would Diana, who historically kept her distance from Anne, reach out so directly? Perhaps she recognized Anne's senior position and her influence within the family. Or maybe Diana hoped Anne's direct nature would spur real dialogue, given the royal family's concern with its public image, especially following the Queen's 1992 description of that year as her annus horribilis. Diana might have felt an urgent need to address the scandal overshadowing Charles. By appealing to Anne, she sought either an ally or at least someone who could advise Charles to act more carefully. In essence, the letter underscores Diana's commitment to the institution she once embraced. Despite her disillusionment, she worried about the monarchy's image if Charles's infidelity remained unchecked. Yet the palace, by then, seemed resigned to the couple's divorce as the only viable outcome. Diana's heartfelt plea appears to have made little difference to the course already set in motion. This new evidence inevitably stirs conspiracy theories and questions. If Diana wrote so candidly to Anne, are there more hidden letters or diaries that might further reveal the secret workings of the royal family? Diana had already expressed to confidants a fear that powerful figures wished her gone. For skeptics, this letter offers another piece to a puzzle that suggests her demise was no mere accident. However, it could also be interpreted more simply. Diana was desperate for someone, anyone, in the family to acknowledge her pain and the monarchy's vulnerability. She was media savvy enough to know that Charles's scandalous image would erode public trust. So perhaps this wasn't a coded cry for help as much as a straightforward warning about the institution's survival. Diana herself often explained her desire to modernize the monarchy with sincerity and compassion, qualities she felt were overshadowed by rigid tradition. Even now, decades after her death, Princess Diana's influence remains undeniable. She revolutionized perceptions of royalty, from the way she embraced the public with warmth and authenticity to her approach in discussing mental health, eating disorders, and HIV/AIDS openly. Diana humanized a centuries-old institution and inspired a generation to question outdated norms of privacy, deference, and tradition. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, continue to shape her legacy. William, now the Prince of Wales, embodies the role of a dutiful heir, carrying forward the philanthropic emphasis his mother championed. Harry, for his part, has engaged in open discussions about mental health and the emotional weight of royal life. Echoes, perhaps, of the same vulnerabilities Diana faced. The friction between Harry and the institution, as well as his decision to step back from official duties, similarly calls to mind Diana's wish for a more autonomous existence beyond palace confines. Princess Anne's role in all this is more understated. She remains a steadfast figure in the monarchy, unwavering in her commitment to royal responsibilities. Her no-nonsense reputation persists, as does her apparent inclination to keep matters under wraps. The unveiling of Diana's letter to her, then, spotlights Anne's unique position, a keeper of secrets, possibly the only person Diana felt had the standing, and perhaps the moral authority, to address Charles's indiscretions. The unsealed letter serves as a reminder that behind every glittering royal engagement lies a world of politics, personal anguish, and carefully guarded truths. For Diana, the letter was a plea for understanding, a chance to protect the monarchy she once adored. She wanted the fairy tale to be real, but reality often proved harsher than even her darkest imaginings. Time and again, she used her voice, whether through interviews, diaries, or private letters, despite the immense pressure to remain silent. In her own words, Diana claimed she was perpetually fighting alone, battling not just a failing marriage, but an institution more concerned with preserving its own mystique than acknowledging her suffering. Even years after her death, revelations like this letter are testaments to her determination to be heard. They also remind us how precarious the monarchy's position can be, hinged on public favor that can shift with every scandal or heartbreak exposed to the world. If Diana's letter to Princess Anne had surfaced earlier, would it have changed the course of events? Possibly not. The momentum for Charles and Diana's divorce was already unstoppable, and the monarchy had set its course to move forward without her. However, it might have opened another avenue of dialogue, a chance to address the problems roiling behind palace gates. We can only speculate. What do you make of this extraordinary discovery? The very thought that Diana reached out to Anne, a woman she'd long had a frosty relationship with, suggests a desperation for solutions, or at least a compassionate ear. Her revelations, questioning Charles's suitability as king, calling out the damage wrought by his infidelity, and fearing the broader implications for the monarchy, show that Diana was both passionately protective of the institution and deeply wounded by it. This lost letter, unearthed after nearly 3 decades, is another haunting chapter in Diana's story, one that continues to enchant, sadden, and provoke debate. It's a window into the final years of a woman who touched the hearts of millions, yet found so little solace in the institution that embraced her. And it speaks volumes about the royal family's complexities, entrenched in centuries of tradition, duty, and silence. But now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Princess Diana's warnings and revelations in that letter might have spurred change if only they'd been addressed properly? Was Princess Diana, who gave so much love to the world, treated fairly by the royal family? Or was she, as many believe, a misunderstood figure battling a cold and rigid system? We invite you to share your thoughts. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of the most intriguing twists in modern royal history. Let us know in the comments what you think about Diana's lost letter and the real story behind the public facade. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more royal revelations, and share it with anyone who's ever been captivated by Princess Diana's legacy. Thanks for watching, and until next time,